Hey, this is Onion, continuing our playthrough of Final Fantasy XIV Online, main story quest, where all text is brought in with audio. Thanks for joining.
Plainly, should the worst come to pass, and Leviathan is summoned, our only recourse will be to face him in battle. Given past experience, you may very well think that eventuality inevitable. Yet so long as there is even a chance that the Primal's return might be prevented, we must needs bend all our efforts toward achieving that goal. Before we do aught else, let us hasten to Limsala Minsa and meet with the Admiral. She will not have been idle in the intervening time, and will doubtless have valuable information to share.
You are expected. Pray take this lift to the command room.
Welcome, friends. I take it Ishtola has apprised you of the situation? Let us waste no time, then. According to our best intelligence, the Sahagin had not crystals enough to summon their god. Alas, we did not count on the Serpent Reavers venturing as far as Thanalan to supplement their cache. For our short-sightedness, we are faced with the grim prospect of Leviathan's imminent return. Needless to say, I am not inclined to let the fishbacks have their way. Even as we speak, the Maelstrom makes ready to launch a large-scale operation to thwart the summoning, and we would welcome the Scion's support in this endeavor. But if, gods forbid, our efforts should come to naught, I will need to trouble you for more than mere support, much as I did when Titan last walked these lands. Lady Minfilia, I am given to understand that you mean to accompany our soldiers to the front lines. I can only assume that you have sound reasons for doing so. I do, Admiral. But I would rather not be drawn on their nature. I will say only that there is something I would see with mine own eyes. Is that so? Well, I am not so stubborn as to deny the wish of one whose aid I require, but precautions must be taken. I shall require that you remain by my side at all times. With that settled, let us speak of the operation. Onion, Maelstrom scouts are currently reconnoitering Sahagin movements within the Sapsa spawning grounds. Upon completing their mission, they will return to the operations staging point at Camp Skull Valley. I want you to make your way there forthwith, that you might be apprised of the latest intelligence. Commander Fulkridder has charge of the garrison. I've been expecting you, Scion of the Seventh Dawn. On behalf of the men and women here, I thank you for your cooperation. The safety of our citizens is paramount. With your aid, we will prevent Leviathan's return. As you may already know, Maelstrom scouts have been dispatched to reconnoiter the Sapsa spawning grounds. Though it pains me to admit it, the Maelstrom has never faced a foe the likes of this before. We must proceed with all due caution. Among other things, they have orders to determine where Leviathan might emerge, assuming it comes to that. And yet, their return is long overdue. I fear that ill may have befallen them. For better or worse, we must ascertain their fate. If it is not too much to ask, I would have you aid us in the search. 5 scouts ventured into Sapsa all told. Here, take this flask of restorative to tend those who may have been wounded. Though it pains me to even consider the notion, if they have perished, circumstances permitting, I ask that you recover their bodies. By no means venture too deep into enemy territory, however, we can ill afford to lose you at this juncture. Help. Somebody. Of all the times, to forget the restorative. Ugh. Thank you. I owe you my life. We were ambushed by the Serpent Reavers. Lightly armed as we are, we didn't stand a chance. I was able to flee this far, but the others were captured. They were taken to the Serpent's Tongue, I'm certain of it. I can make my own way back to camp, but I fear the worst for my comrades. Save them, I beg you. You're returned, thank the navigator. When I learned that you went to the Serpent's Tongue by yourself, I feared you would meet an untimely demise. But tell me, what became of the others? Dear gods. These wounds were not intended to kill, but to torture and maim. Does their savagery know no bounds? Enemies or no, they go too far. I dread to think what may have become of the two who remain unaccounted for. I pray that they haven't suffered the same evil fate. At the very least, one of my men came back alive, and for that I owe you my thanks. The price we paid was dear, but we have the intelligence we need. Even as we speak, the Admiral finalizes the details of the operation. The war horns will sound any moment now. Be ready to sally forth when they do. Thrice-damned fishback bastards. I'll kill them slowly and then chase their rotten souls through all 7 hells.
Peace, Commander. We are here for a purpose, and vengeance is not it. I want your mind on the task at hand, savvy?
My apologies, Admiral. You may count on me to keep a clear head.
Good. According to our sole surviving scout, the Sahagin and their thralls have already begun to amass at the Aetheryte in the depths of Sapsa. If we are to act, it must be now.
The men are ready. We but await your orders, Admiral. As predicted, the Sahagin have tightened security in and around the spawning grounds. A frontal assault is like to be met with fierce resistance.
But we are not so artless as that, Commander. We shall divide our forces and strike them hard and fast at key locations. Remember, our ultimate objective is to take the Sapsa Aetheryte and eliminate the Sahagin priest presiding over the summoning. We are not here to kill them all. The Maelstrom shall engage and distract the Sahagin's legion of drowned pirates at the Serpent's Tongue. Commander, you have charge over this effort. Be mindful that the lay of the land there is devilish for attacking forces. Let the foreign levy spearhead the assault, and have subsequent units fan out to cover their flanks. At the selfsame moment, a diversionary squadron formed of galleons from the Crimson Fleet shall harry the enemy from offshore.
In likewise, we Scions shall form smaller units in hopes of confusing the Sahagin defensive effort. Onion and Ishtola, the two of you are to make your way to the site of the summoning ritual. The Admiral's diversions should serve to thin the enemy's defenses, rendering your path less perilous. A small party, I believe, should be able to win through without drawing unwarranted attention. Thancred and Ugithi, your mission is to lure as many Sahagin as possible out of the spawning grounds. Having done so, take to your heels and circle round to join the infiltration unit of Ishtola and Onion.
When all has been set in motion, I myself shall cut a path to the Aetheryte, accompanied by Lady Minfilia, as was agreed. Well, don't let me keep you, friends, to battle.
When last did we fight side by side, Onion? Too long ago, I warned. But come, let us away. Pray do not concern yourself, 'twas but a glancing blow. Come, the Aetheryte is close at hand, let us press on.
Damn them. They have made thralls of soldiers and civilians both. Did I miss much? So that is how you fight in the Far East. Mental note, pick no quarrel with Domans. But seriously, if I am to keep up, I must needs forsake elegance for efficiency. To the Aetheryte!
You'll forgive me my lateness.
I've been something of a liability of late, I know. 'Tis high time I set about making amends.
Long have you shriveled swordwalkers tormented our kind. But no more! Your time is at an end! You shall perish with salt in your wounds and sea in your lungs. Lord of the world, hearken to our plea. Lord of the world, deliver us from our misery.
Do you feel that?
I know this sensation. It's the echo.
What? Ah! Such power! It is transcendent!
Seven hells!
Strike me down if you will. It is futile! I have mastered the gift! I am eternal! O mighty Leviathan, ruler of the seas, born of waters primordial, I offer unto you this frail flesh, that you might grant your faithful servants deliverance. I beseech you, come forth!
Die, damn you!
Foolish shorewalker! You cannot kill that which is eternal!
Heavens forfend.
Damn it all!
My being ebbs away. But it should by right be infinite. Am I not immortal? Curse you, emissary! You promised me everlasting.
Where did he go?
What say you? Nary a single ship? Hells take that sea demon! Gather the survivors and get to shore. Leave the wrecks for the pirates. Leviathan wastes no time. The diversionary squadron is lost. For a mercy, 'twould seem the Primal now makes for open sea. But why does he not press his advantage? Unless... God save us! He means to unleash a tidal wave!
Understand, I speak of no normal wall of water. That which Leviathan makes ready to conjure carries more destructive power than aught seen in nature. Enough to raise entire coastal settlements, if his last attempt is any guide. We cannot suffer history to be repeated, yet how in the seven hells are we to prevent it? Though our plight cries out for action, we must take thought. So long as Leviathan remains in the open sea, he is effectively beyond our reach. Our fleet is second to none, of that you may be sure, but Ling Ling herself would struggle to best the Lord of the Whirl in his element. In a straight fight, he would make meat and match wood of us. We need another plan, that much is plain. Let us return to Limsa and see if we cannot think of one. I shall await you in the command room.
There used to be a hamlet beyond South Tidegate in western Lanosha. Halfstone 'twas called. Some years prior to the Maelstrom's founding, Leviathan rose from the briny depths and set about unleashing watery hell upon us. On that occasion, the company of heroes put him down before he could do too much damage. But when the bastard came next, this time in the wake of the calamity, we were not so fortunate. Weary of ravaging our shoreline, he summoned a tidal wave which fair leveled Halfstone and washed the soil away for good measure.
The area was subsequently occupied by the Sahagin.
Aye, the thrice-damned creatures transformed it into a spawning ground for their brood. Given the quantity of crystal stolen to feed him and his legion of thralls, we can be fairly sure that Leviathan is stronger now than in his previous incarnations. If that sea demon is left to wreak havoc, what befell Halfstone may well befall a larger settlement, even Limsa. That cannot happen. The Primal must be stopped.
That was ever our objective, Admiral. But how are we to achieve it? The sea is Leviathan's uncontested domain. The ships of the 3rd Squadron could not close to within 100 yards of the Primal, nor could their cannons pierce his defenses.
I have read the reports, Master Thancred. Our warships may as well have been bloody pleasure barges for all the good they did. 7 hells! Is there no way that we might strike back?
The company of heroes defeated Leviathan, having first lured him into an inlet, but we must needs contend with him upon the open sea. It will avail us little to consult past experience.
Admiral, if I may.
Speak freely, Marshal.
By all accounts, Leviathan's most formidable weapon is the very sea itself. Waves and whirlpools, tides and currents, all these things are his to command. The key to victory, I believe, lies in disarming our foe. This, in effect, is what the company of heroes achieved with their ruse. We cannot lure Leviathan from the sea a second time. But what if we could weaken his hold upon the element of water? I have heard of devices capable of such wonders. They draw upon the power of corrupted crystals, I am told. If mounted upon a ship, such a device might be used to prevent Leviathan from bringing the full force of the sea to bear against us, rendering him no more dangerous than any other sea serpent.
Of course! Sid built a similar device to grant the Enterprise safe passage through Garuda's Tempest, did he not?
Begging your pardon, my lady, but to give credit where it's due, this is something I heard from an old arcanist friend of mine.
It makes little difference who thought of it first, so long as it works. Beg the specifications of this device from your friend, and I shall pass them on to our people at Naldic. But before we proceed any further, I would voice one concern. Piercing Garuda's defenses is one thing. Suppressing Leviathan's attacks, quite another. In matters of science, I am as a babbling babe, but I cannot well imagine that such a feat would be possible without a veritable mountain of corrupted crystals. The question being, do we have a ship big enough to bear such a burden?
Mayhap not, Admiral, but two might. Recall you the tale of Mistbeard's greatest haul? It is said that he lashed 2 ships together, side by side, the better to bear his plunder. By your leave, we might attempt to repeat the trick. The gods know it would be quicker than building a new vessel.
Mistbeard did this. Truly, Marshal, upon the subject of the Pirate King, you are as a scholar.
Now, from what I have gleaned of these matters, the device will need to be in close and constant proximity to the target. To wit, we must lash our twin vessel to Leviathan. This in itself will be no small feat. Ramming speed will be required, but given the weight of the cargo, that will only be attainable with the aid of a towing vessel. Suffice it to say, the task of piloting said vessel will entail considerable danger, and I would not ask it of another. I volunteer myself.
'Twill be dangerous for all involved, but we have no better recourse. Very well. Commodore, assemble the remnants of the fleet at Morabee Bay. Give priority to our soundest vessels. The repairs can wait. Storm Marshal Slafierson, command of the operation is yours. I want that twin vessel ready to sail post-haste.
At once, Admiral.
And then there is the small matter of slaying the beast. The fate of Limsa Lominsa rests upon your shoulders once again. Go well, warrior of light.
Beings held as gods also exist in what you call the Far East. Legends tell us that they walked among us in days of yore, but I confess that I never truly believed them. That I should live to behold one is humbling and horrifying in equal measure. Now that I have come face to face with the primal, I do begin to understand why the Garleans fear them so.
What is it?
A message, Admiral. I judged it best that it be delivered at once.
I am listening.
According to the Yellowjackets, a man has appeared who claims to have defeated Leviathan.
One of the company of heroes?
The details are yet hazy, Admiral. We have dispatched one of our own to question the individual.
I am disinclined to put any store by this claim. And even should it be true, it is as Ishtola said, none save the company of heroes have bested Leviathan, and we know how they went about it. If this man is of their number, what could he tell us that we do not know already? And yet, having wagered Limsa's survival on 2 ships, some rope, and a pile of crystals, can we afford to ignore this man? If his testimony could yield us any manner of advantage, should we not hear it? Damn it all. The twin vessel will soon be ready. We have no time to wait for the Maelstrom's report on this supposed primal slayer's claims. Onion, seek him out and learn what he knows. At the very least, it will spare you the torment of waiting for the reckoning in idleness.
The man you are looking for is believed to be a resident of the Grey Fleet, in Lower La Nosha. The Storm private sent to question him should already be in the vicinity. May your journey prove fruitful. Now look here, you. You'll have your bloody story, right after ye carry those sacks of grain over to the mill. But, sir, that's what you said before you had me pick those oranges for you. And before I mucked out the Chocobo stables. And before I rolled that millstone over to the mill. And also before. Gods, man. I've worked 3 days straight without a wink of sleep. 3 days. And do ye hear me complainin'? Ah. I suppose some of us just ain't made for the rougher stuff. Alright, I'll give you what you want. Never let it be said that old Traketoom ain't a generous soul. Now prick up your ears, cause I won't be repeating myself. Too modest, see? Besides, there's only so much epicness a man can take in one sit-in, ye ken? Ahem. The tale of Traketoom's epic victory over the dread primal Leviathans. Now, Leviathans huge, make no mistake. To give ye an idea how big, each of his scales is about as wide across as me members long, and that's no mean feat, let me tell ye. When I fought him, I could barely see fair all the brine he was pelting me with. Must have been a lagoon's worth at least. He even knocked me trusty axe out of me hands at one stage. Course, that proved to be a grave mistake. Hey. What happened next? Why, I grabbed him by the tail and tied him up in knots. But not wanting to take all the glory fair myself, I let me mates in the company of heroes handle the rest. Like I said, I'm modest as well as heroic. Mayhap too modest. Now, there's some that say ye can never truly beat Leviathans, that you've got to learn to live with him and make the best of a bad situation. Not the company, though. It's you. I'm sorry. I didn't mean it. I was just enjoying the attention, is all. I take back everything I said. I was never part of the company of heroes. I'm no marauder. I'm actually a complete coward. I'm nothing. I'm Chocobo Dung. No, I'm the maggots ye find wriggling in Chocobo Dung. I have to lie to women to tumble 'em, and that don't happen much. Me member's tiny, it's pathetic. I sure as hells didn't fight Leviathans, but I have seen him with me own eyes. It was a fair few years back, when I was working as a baker's hand. I was shirking me duties one day, loitering about the harbor, when I saw it. A great big massive sea serpent some moms off the coast, with a fleet of galleons making straight for it, cannons firing. I was so bloody scared, I soiled myself right there and then. Why dash? Oh, gods. Ju remembering that day made me soil myself all over again. Hey, wait. If you're here asking after Leviathans, it means you're planning to fight him, ain't ye? Well, take care. He really is terrible. Dreadful, I tell ye. If you're not careful, ye'll end up in his gullet or at the bottom of the sea. Why, you worthless, lying horsin'. I can't believe you made me handle Chocobo Dung.
Onion, this is Menphilia. Were you able to learn aught of use against Leviathan? I beg your pardon? Leviathans? I see. That is unfortunate. At any rate, I have tidings for you. The twin vessel is now complete. We await you at the Moraby dry docks. Pray make your way here as soon as you are able.
I'm told your jaunt to the Grey Fleet proved fruitless. My sympathies, lass. I'll wager it served to take your mind off the events of recent days, though. But enough of that nonsense. The moment of truth is upon us. The twin vessel, the Whirleader, I call her, is complete, and she surpasses all my expectations. In addition to her prodigious tonsage, she has been fitted with a platform that you and yours might maneuver freely in battle. I would mention also that she is nigh unsinkable, but I'm not one to tempt fate. The Whirleader and her crew stand ready, my friend. Just give the word, and we shall bear you to Leviathan.
Alright, I'm going to pause it here. The next video is going to be fighting Leviathan. Thanks for joining.